Hey everybody, welcome back to Pop Views where we talk about movies. And today we are going to be reviewing a brand new movie that's streaming on Netflix right now, and it's called In the Tall Grass. And it's based on a novella, a collaborative novella by Stephen King and his son Joe Hill, who I have a lot of respect for these guys. They're in my opinion, they're great writers, both of them, and they also helped to write the screenplay for this as well. It was directed and co-written by Vincenzo Natali. And I got to say, what I liked most about this movie was the directing. Because basically what this movie is about, it's about this brother and sister who are driving to San Diego, and they are in Kansas, and they hear this cry for help in this vast field of tall grass.
Right.
And and then they get into the grass. But what I liked about the directing was the claustrophobic feeling that you had watching this movie, I thought,
You felt lost right along with them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So anyway, yeah, that's what happens is they get in there and they get lost, and that's all I'm like, I'm going to tell you.
I mean, you can't really tell much more without starting to give things away. But I'll tell you what, it starts off right in the beginning. I mean, within 5 minutes?
Oh yeah,
they're in the grass.
There's no lag.
Yeah. So they're in the grass really, really quickly, and I'm thinking, okay, how are they going to make this movie last for almost 2 hours in the tall grass?
Yeah.
They managed it.
You
don't get bored. It doesn't seem like a 2-hour movie or an hour and 20 minutes or 40 minutes?
40 minutes, I think it was, yeah.
Anyhow, it really catches your attention, and you want to know what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. I was reading reviews of this movie, and a lot of people were saying, its biggest flaw is in the plot, and it's because it's so minuscule, really. But in my opinion, it didn't take much for this movie to progress,
right?
And the plot was decent, and but what I enjoyed about this movie was just the originality behind the story. Now, I've never read this novella by King and his son, so I've got nothing really to compare it to. But on the other hand, I mean, if the book is anywhere near as good as the movie, then I would certainly read it.
Well, I think I saw somewhere that the people were saying that it wasn't really quite the book,
really?
Which doesn't surprise me. They really have trouble making Stephen King books the right way.
No, they do. With him and his son writing the screenplay, you'd think that they would do it a little bit better than that. But it's always hard to adapt a book anyway to a film and do it perfectly.
Yeah, I couldn't see even reading this book because of the way it's put together. It would be very confusing, I think, to read.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. So. They tagged this as a horror movie, but I saw it more as a speculative fiction piece.
And suspense.
Yeah, a lot of suspense in it. But I will warn viewers not to expect a typical horror movie. There's not really anything in the big jump scares or anything like that, and but it's a mood piece, I think.
It's more about what is happening and trying to figure out what's going on.
But I will say this: it's not a fantastic movie. I wouldn't rate it very high. On the other hand, it is a good horror movie. You sit around and if you want something decent, scary to watch it around Halloween time, yeah, certainly.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I mean, this is no, blockbuster hit movie or anything like that, but it's definitely worth a watch.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I'm going to rate it at a 6.5.
I'll go right in there about with you.
Yeah, I was going to go as high as a 7, but after thinking about it, I'm not sure. But it is. I will say this: it's one of those movies that leaves a lot of questions. It's not as though they don't wrap it up in the end, but there's a lot of holes in the story that make you go, okay, well, why did they do this?
Right. There was a lot of things, like you said, a lot of holes where They're not bad holes. They're just holes that I would like to know more answers to. It all it did was leave more question. But that doesn't take away from the movie for some reason, and I think that's what makes us give it a 6.5 instead of a 7 or an 8.
Yeah. And I mentioned before, I don't mind movies that leave me thinking about them at the end. But when they leave holes like that are unanswered, and not even just unanswered, but they don't even attempt to answer it.
Well,
that bugs me.
The holes are just. It's like we're the actual brother and sister, and we don't know anything more than they do.
Yeah.
And we never find out anything more than they do.
Yeah. Well, and there are other films and TV series out there like that. Like, for instance, let's take The Walking Dead for example. When you first start watching this, you have no idea why it's happening. It's just that it is happening.
Right.
Which is okay in my opinion, because if you were in that situation, you wouldn't know anything about
right. You would know exactly as much as the characters were knowing.
Yeah. I mean, and all you would be told is what you're being told by the media. The dead are walking, and okay, well, why? Well, you don't know. And you don't find out until I want to say it's in the second season as just some sort of answer behind that. But even then, they don't really answer it completely. But and so in situations like that, I get that. But like in this movie where they just make no attempt,
right?
It's just I don't know. But
after we finished watching this movie, we both said I need to think about this movie before I can tell you even how much I liked it or not.
Yeah. I'm hearing the same comment from people who have watched the new Joker movie. And they're saying the same thing. I got to process this. I don't know if I liked it or not, And so, I don't know. But, anything by Stephen King and Joe Hill, in my opinion, is usually good.
Right. It's at least going to be entertaining.
Yeah. That new series, bless you.
Excuse me.
That new series, I think it's on AMC, called Nosferatu. That's by Joe Hill. And that's based on his book with the same name. And I haven't read that book either. However, if I'm going to, I'm most definitely going to read that book.
The series definitely catches your attention.
Oh man, yeah, definitely. And Zachary Quinto in that is pretty amazing. But yeah, I won't say that anything by Stephen King is good, because I've read some kind of stinkers by him. But for the most part, I mean, he's a hell of a writer.
Revival.
That was the name of that one book that I just hated.
It's just not. I mean, it's one of the worst ones I've read of his.
Yeah, definitely. But then you look back on his classics like The Shining, and even his sequel to that, Doctor Sleep, was amazing.
Yes. Can't wait to see that one.
Yeah, and 11/22/63 was good. It wasn't a very good film or series, I guess it was. I thought it was lacking severely. But the book was outstanding, But and that's another one of those speculative sci-fi things that he's done, and he's done very few of those, but he does it well. But anyway, so what do you say we get out of here?
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks a lot for watching, folks, and we will see you next time.